What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful evening. Getting dark a lot sooner, but beautiful evening. Nice, perfect. Not even crispy, just perfect. But dimming. It's like somebody has their hand on that round switch and they're dimming it. Dimming it. That's how it is. I don't mind it. I mean, it's a little bit cozy at night. You have a little extra time. You look at the clock, you think it's 9, but it's actually 8, so you feel like, oh, I got another hour here. I can watch something, I can do something, I don't need to go to bed yet. So I appreciate that. Sometimes I say, they should go 2 hours ahead. Make it a little bit, drastic, a little bit, where you notice it. You're like, wow, it's like 3 o'clock and it's dark out. So I wish they would do that for a couple of years. So anyway, today I was with grocery shopping, and then I looked at the lines and they were huge trying to get out there. I'm like, hire more cashiers. So I ended up going to the self-serve with the stun gun there, and I was zapping away at the scanning on that thing, that little square. And then as I'm doing that, I was thinking, why are the prices the same? I'm not looking to save a ton of money. I don't really care about that, but what's fair is fair, right? I mean, if you're going to do some of the work, you're going to end up being employed there for a couple of minutes, you should get a discount on what you're buying. For example, when you go to a gas station, full serve is 20 cents more expensive than self-serve. So they compensate you. They say, okay, we don't have to hire an additional person here. You're doing, some of the work here. So we give you a discount on the price of the gas. Not in grocery stores. In grocery stores, if you buy $50 worth of stuff, whether you go on full serve, where there's a person scanning and doing it for you, or whether you do it yourself, it's the same price. I don't know, maybe they should give you like 1% off. Or maybe like a free stick of butter. Something like that, so that you feel like you're benefiting other than getting out of there faster. And sometimes you don't really get out of there faster because the whole place is busy. But I always wondered why supermarkets don't have some kind of incentive other than you don't have to wait in that long line. But gas stations, they don't say, hey, you don't have to wait in the long line here. There's more pumps available than the full serve, so we're going to charge you the same whether you do the work or not. I bet you that people would be very angry if they had to go to a gas station and say full serve was like $5.99 and self-serve was $5.99. They'd say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? But if you go to a grocery store, it's the same price. Nobody says anything. So anyway, that's the way it goes. Maybe one day that'll change. What will happen in the future, the price will stay the same, but everything will be automated. You'll put the stuff on the counter and automatically somehow the AI will tell you exactly the price in a split second. So anyway, very quiet evening, except for the cars going by, but they're all going home. Every day at around 5:30, 5 o'clock, the crows fly by. So we're not there yet. Almost. So today, November 4th, Tuesday, 2025. We're almost, this is it. This is the tail end of 2025. Then we're going to 2026. I remember when 1986 came around, I thought that we were, cutting edge. We were, at the top of our game. I was like, how much, more stuff is going to come out. I knew more stuff was coming out, but I couldn't think of what. And I knew this girl, lady, she was old enough, could have been a lady, right? And she said to me back then, I don't think we're going to invent any more stuff after this point. I go, oh, why not? She's like, I think we've reached the pinnacle, the top of human performance. And I said, you think this is it? This nothing? She goes, well, what else can be invented? She goes, everything exists. And in my head I was thinking, I want to tell her how gullible she is right now. Everybody thinks that You know, everybody's like, yeah, what else can come up? You know, we have everything now. I'm sure they felt that way 500 years ago. They're probably thinking, well, you got these advanced horses, these nice wagons that attach to the horse. What else could possibly come along to, you know, that'll benefit us? Nobody could think of that. Same thing now, 86. You know, I was like, yeah, I think I said, yeah, I said to her, I think they're gonna come up with more stuff. And she was like, I don't think so. She's still around. I should find her and tell her. You remember saying that to me? How stupid do you feel right now? Because that's not the case. Look at all the stuff that's come since 1985. The internet, computer advancements, iPhones, I mean, on and on and on. So many things that didn't exist back then that were invented after 1986. But she felt like that was it. That was it. And when you hear somebody say that, you realize not a deep thinker. Now, you know, I remember in 86, I thought we were pretty cutting edge, but I didn't think that we were done with inventing things. And I didn't say, I think we got everything. You know, how would you know that? But I remember that Billy Joel song, because I kind of felt that way a little bit. I was like, you know, I know we're going to get new inventions, but like what? And he's got a line in there, and he says, but after 1986, what else could be new? Well, many things, including self-driving vehicles. It's probably back then they really didn't think that they would come here so fast. They probably thought, I mean, that's like a couple of 100 years into the future. But yeah, every you know, if you go back 100 years ago, they were probably thinking, yeah, we're pretty advanced here. Look what we have. We have windows. We have a telegraph machine, whatever, SOS, Morse code. They probably thought that was cutting edge. And they said, I don't think anything else is coming. But here we are. And in another 100 years, you'll look back now and we'll be like really old-fashioned people. Because now it's like the advancements are coming quicker and quicker. First of all, we know new stuff's coming because we have yet to invent teleportation. You know, I know they've done it with a photon, but a photon is nothing compared to a whole human. So, I got a message here. Let me see what that says. Yes, it's a funny text. So, that's it. Now it's really getting dim. I mean, I'm looking, I'm talking here, and it's like, slowly shut it, no, this way. Shut it down. Shut it down. You know, I look at these videos where they do size comparisons. So they'll have like, you know, a bunch of meteors, asteroids, bunch of moons from our solar system, then you get our moon. Then, you know, you go to like Pluto, and you go up and up and up, and each thing is next to the other thing that looked big, and now that other thing looks tiny. And then you get to our sun, and our sun looks huge. You got, you know, the Jupiter next to it, and Jupiter looks like a teeny weeny little ball. And when you see Earth next to Jupiter, it looks teeny weeny because it's probably the size of that red spot on Jupiter. And then the sun, you go, that's pretty big, but it's only a dwarf star. And you see another star next to it, and then our sun becomes like that big versus that big, and it keeps going on, and Betelgeuse shows up, and then our sun is like a dot. So, you know, everything is like big until something bigger comes along. You know, that's how it is. The only way you judge size is with something else next to it. Because how do you know what big is if you know, like if you stand next to somebody who's 5'4", and everybody else is like mama's boy. That's a mama's boy. Definitely going home to get a kiss on the forehead. So anyway, if you're you know 5'4" and everybody else is 3'11", you're a big person. But you know, if you're 6 feet and everybody else is 8 feet, so it's all relative. Like Gulliver's Travels. Remember, he went one place, he was the monster, big guy, and then he went somewhere else and he was teeny weeny. So that's how it goes. But yeah, we keep discovering weird stuff in the universe. Every time you think you found everything, there's something else that pops up. I'm still, I'm still fascinated with the fact that we exist, that I exist, that I'm here, and I'm consciously able to look around and find that there's a reality. Without my existence, it doesn't matter how many people and how many things consciously know about the existence of the universe. If I'm not there, then it's like it doesn't exist at all. And how many places are out there in other realities that are like that you have to be born into them to know that they're there? Who knows? I mean, and you'd never know. How would you know? Nobody knows. If you live in a whole different reality that isn't measured by distance from here, it's just a whole different place. How would you know if there's other realities that have nothing to do with the universe? You would never know it. Delicious tea. Yeah. So tonight we're making Italian sausages. So I have nice freshly made sausages, nice cuts of meat in there, nice spice. So we'll cook those, and then I have a bunch of bell peppers. I have the green ones, the orange ones, the yellow ones, and I have some red ones. I'm gonna chop them up in long strips, saute, fry them up. And then I have good-looking onions, fry those up. Then I have really good bread. I bought some really good bread. I'm gonna cut that up, slice it, and then put the sausage in there, put the onions and the peppers, and then I bought some really good sauce, some like a barbecue sauce, and that's optional. If you want to put that, you can. You don't have to. You don't want to mask everything else up, but yeah, these are really good sausages. I remember as a kid I would go down to the Italian part of town, walk around, especially in the wintertime. They would have these guys with a stand, get the fire going, and they would have the sausages cooking and the onions cooking and the peppers cooking, and you'd walk by and you'd smell this refreshing fragrance coming towards you, and you'd stop and you'd say, how much are those? And they'd say $3.50. They'd say, give me one. And you'd say, you want everything on it? And I'd say, everything. And they'd put everything on it, they'd give it to you, and then you eat it. It was very hot because they made it with fire, but the cold air would only keep it hot. I mean, it would cool it down immediately, but long enough for you to put it in your mouth and get that bite of the heat. So, and it was so good. So when I make this stuff, that's what I think of. I think of those guys that made that, the legendary guys that made those sausages, and then they had a really tasty bread. They put it in there, and they put it in some kind of paper wrap, and they'd hand it to you like this, and then you'd take it like that and eat it. So that's what we're having tonight. Anyway, that's it for now. Ciao.